Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Non-League to Premier League. My name's Louis, also known as Lurg. I hope you had a fantastic Easter. Welcome back to the save. Been a busy summer. I will say, hola, como está? That can only mean one thing, can't it? We'll get into it now and have a look at what's been going on over the summer. Really quite exciting stuff. We've still struggled, but we're in a much better position than we were last season. And hopefully we've got another couple of players coming in very shortly. So I'm very excited. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Right then, so first thing you will notice is there are now two icons in the top left-hand corner. As you can see, we are also now manager of the Spanish national team, which opened up a couple of doors for us. Obviously, we can now see the full plethora of Spanish players, including some of their young talent. We've got offers in for a couple of people, and I'm quite excited about working with the Spanish team. There's some real quality throughout it. So we're looking forward to that. That's one thing. Right then, as for transfers, first person who we've got in, he come in right at the end of last season. Although it is this season's transfer window. It's classed as last season. Daniel Young, 21, Spanish. Now, we got this man before we took the Spanish job on. But as you can see, he's touted as a striker, very good, but I'm actually going to use him and have been using him in an advanced playmaker role here. As you can see, his mentals, his physicals and his technicals are superb for this position. Really feel like we may, hopefully, if it doesn't turn out to be a bust, may have come across like a little David Silva kind of player here. So very excited about that. So we brought him in 6.5 million. Transfers in and out this season then. So far we have sold Tony Halliday to Reading, Will Denby to Brentford. We've got rid of Joel Holmes to Norwich and Jack Wooden to Nottingham Forest. In terms of spending then, we brought in Tony Simon from Anderlecht, young Belgian player. Very good. Again, central midfielder. I just want some nice rotation options now, who are a little bit stronger than what we've previously got. Obviously, we've still got a lot of youth in the squad as well, which is really quite nice. So, we're just trying to strike that nice little balance at the minute. We then brought in this absolute little beast. Serbian, 19 years old, Dragolub Svjatnovic. Really good. Mentals may be a little bit lacking in some kind of instances. But as you can see so far, 3 appearances, 3 goals. He has been absolutely sensational for us in pre-season. So we're hoping that we can bring that through to the season itself. We're obviously playing him in that much further forward role. Got tons and tons of pace. Can pick out a pass. Really good crosser of the ball. Can whip in a good corner as well. So a very good man to take over the reins from the man who we love in Dion McGee. That being said, we then also brought in Gavin Frost from Liverpool, another kind of midfielder, but we're actually going to be using him as a young defender for cover. Very good as a ball-playing defender, as you can see. Superb mentals, really good physicals, and very good technicals. Again, young, which is something that we've done since the start of the save. So I'm trying to build a nice team who's a little bit stronger than what we had last year, but again has still got that little bit of oomph and flair about them as a squad. So I'm looking forward to where we can go with this. And then last but not least, on loan from Liverpool, Juan Sebastian de Castillo. Absolutely superb. Right winger, Colombian. We tried to get him on a full-time contract. He wasn't having none of it, so we went back in for him on loan. We have got a man who is potentially coming in tomorrow who's going to replace him. But again, we're just adding depth and quality to the squad. in all positions that we needed, because last season at times we looked so flat, and that was really upsetting because these players have been with us for such a long time, but they're just not quite the quality that we need. So we're now starting to up the ante a little bit, and I firmly believe that come January we're going to be in a much better position than we was last season, and I really do believe that we're going to have some good works, like some good things in the works in terms of players coming in. I really do think that heading up the national side for Spain is going to give us some open doors, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage. So that's where we stand in terms of that. You might say, well, that's not really good enough, is it? If we come into our shortlists then, this is the shortlist of players who have rejected us. Just so you know that we've been looking at some very good players and unfortunately couldn't get them. First and foremost, he was on the transfer list. It's now noted that he's not on the transfer list anymore. I would have been delighted to pick up Justin Kluivert. Obviously speaks for himself. Max Aarons from Bournemouth. Bebbington, this youngster. I mean, I'm actually quite happy now that we didn't get him, considering who we've got. But Bebbington from Borussia Dortmund, very, very good youngster. Superb all round, really. Really pacey. Still got strength about him. Fantastic Croatian player. And they've actually just signed him to a new contract as well. So we weren't going to get him there. Curtis Jones, I think he was at Liverpool, I believe. Yes, he was. He was at Liverpool. Obviously, Chelsea are a much bigger draw than us, so I can understand that. Biakasako. Wow. That's not his name at all, guys. Anyway, Saka was on the transfer list. Worth noting again, another player who was on the transfer list in the summer, no longer on the transfer list. So, really thought that we might have a chance with Saka, but unfortunately, just not interested. Tete, Reece Nelson, who come from Arsenal, rejected us outright. Todd Cantwell, who was going to be our right midfielder at the time, obviously come from Norwich. Norwich went down last season, and we just couldn't compete with Bournemouth. Absolutely ridiculous. Just really ridiculous. This gentleman from Georgia, again, very happy that some of the people who we tried to sign earlier in the summer transfers, the window, that we couldn't actually get, because now we've got some very good youngsters coming in. So, as you can see, we've been looking at players with some real quality about them. The one that was upsetting, unfortunately, for us was Jayden Braff. Really good. And he just, again, not interested at all. On the transfer list from Man City, he's now joined, obviously, Marseille on loan. But City weren't interested in him. We had an £8.5 million offer actually accepted. We thought that was going to be fantastic business. And he just straight up said, you haven't got the pull. You know, you're not where we want to be. We looked at Tammy Abraham as an option up front, as we did with Liam Delap. Unfortunately, neither of them interested. Shola Shortire from Manchester United. Again, we got to the stage where we offered him a contract. We offered him 40 grand a week. He went to Nice for 22,000 a week. Sometimes the mind just absolutely boggles. Mohamed Kudus from Ajax. Very solid. He was going to be the player who I was having in sat behind the striker. Just no interest in us at all. So we've been looking at some very good people. The one man who was very upsetting, in all fairness, just gone to, where is that, Saint Etienne? Xavier Ortiz, very good left winger, Spanish player. I did think after us just signing for the national team, we might have been able to pick him up. I wasn't expecting him to come into the first team. I was actually going to look at loading him out as soon as we brought it in. But a very good prospect. And again, like, we've offered higher wages to play and they're still going to other teams. We've got a 3-star reputation, so it's not like we've got a terrible reputation. It just, the mind absolutely boggles. And we're building a bigger stadium again while we're expanding the current stadium. So this season we are going to be playing at St Andrews. And then last but not least, Carl Stiles, who we actually offered 30 grand a week to. He went to Championship Brightford instead of us. So that really does say a lot about how the club's reputation goes against it, because we've climbed the league so quickly. You would expect us to have a higher than average reputation because of our monumental climb. Apparently to the players and the world around us, that's just not quite the way it works out. So that's the summer that we've had. We've struggled again in terms of quite bringing in the players who we originally wanted. But in all honesty, it's actually worked out in our favour, and I am now very happy with our squad going forward. We've got a little bit of depth. The only issue that we've got at the moment is centre-back. We do need a little bit of strength and depth there. But apart from that, our squad is looking pretty bloody tasty. So, with all that being said, we will be back in a moment for our first Premier League game of the season at home against Sheffield United. So here we are then for the game against Sheffield United at St Andrews, because we're using Birmingham's ground while our ground is being expanded. And you will see a newer look 11 of Felipe, Jimenez, Wood, Gilchrist and Gerardo, who we have brought back for the third season in a row. United still not willing to let him go, but they're also not playing him, so very happy to have him back on board. Then we've got Chowdhury and Frost in midfield with Kventovic, Daniel, De Castillo right behind Mokhtar. Very, very excited about the squad. If we can play anything like we did in pre-season, this should be an absolutely belting game. In we go then, and we are going to say to the squad in the pre-match build-up, if it will load into the pre-match build-up, Jesse Lingard is actually a Sheffield United in this save. That's interesting. He's got to be getting on a little bit there now. We're going to pump the fists, go out there and impress me. So I want us to attack. It's good to go with Mokhtar. And this is how we are lining up then. We'll just watch the short intro here. So, very, very strong looking squad, obviously. This is how Sheffield United are looking. Actually using Lingard as an out-and-out striker. That's very interesting. So, we're not going to watch the team walks. Just wanted to say we're both lining up. So, very, very few minutes left on the clock at the moment. Gerardo takes it. Daniel then plays it back to Gerardo. Inside for Chowdhury. Chowdhury does get it. Chowdhury to Frost. Frost to Chibantovic. Go Castillo. Castillo again. Ivanovic. And the man who's scored twice so far gets it back in, and Jimenez hits it over. Savantinovic, we're going to have to call something else at some point. Chowdhury's just got red carded. He's got to be off for that. I don't believe it. Absolutely ridiculous challenge coming in there for Hamza Chowdhury, and that puts us in all kinds of problems. So we'll put him as an advanced playmaker still. Chowdhury has really left us in the lurch there. Not very good at all, and it's now 10 men of Solihull Moors for 82 minutes against the 11 men of Sheffield United. Sventanovic then, Jimenez. Back to Frost. Frost to Jimenez again. And Jimenez, audacious, hits the crossbar. Baldy then. Baldy plays it forward. Wood heads it away. Jankto. Rekshkaba. Lingard. And Felipe is there, equal to the shot. It was very, very poor. And as you can see, we're still dominant in possession at the moment. But you would expect at some point the Sheffield United boys to really put it on us at the moment, as Balde then does get the ball, knocks it down wide for Hadji. Hadji here on this right hand side. Can't get the cross in at the moment, plays it back to Richards. Castillo, the ball bounces back and Yankti just pulls it wide. And Felipe then will take the goal kick. Alfie Gilchrist. Gilchrist will knock it long. Unfortunately, a poor pass. Yankto, there is a big gap in midfield there now, which was being hit before. And as I said, you would expect them now to really kind of come upon us. And we could do with a kind of smash and grab goal here, honestly. Still the better side. It's worth noting we are dominating possession with less men. And we have been the better side. There's no doubt about it, considering that we've been playing with 10 men for kind of 20 minutes, you would have expected Sheffield United to really push on from there, and they haven't. First game of the season at home, though, this is one that I would really like to pick up 3 points in. Always going to be up against it when we're obviously down to 10 men, but you can see, had we not have been down to 10 men in this, we probably would have been leading by now. Got a much higher XG. We've got to go out there and give the fans a performance if we can. Just try and G them up a little bit, really. Corner kick to ourselves. No highlights whatsoever. Frost is having an awful game. And in fact, it might be time to bring Frost off, which is exactly what we're going to do. We'll bring on Jacob Davenport. And will we make any other changes at the moment? I don't think so. Team's actually playing quite well. Daniel's not quite up to scratch at the moment. Obviously, he's been dropped back in a bit more of a reserve role from where he is. I might bring Tommy Doyle on as well. In fact, we'll give that role to Dion McGee. McGee's looking motivated, like he wants to come on. Maybe he can be the man who can bring himself on and do something for us. Lingard then. Yankto goes out wide to Hadji. Hadji cuts inside. Gerardo misses the challenge. Jimenez gets it away, only as far as Yankto then. To Terravest on the edge of the area. Schurz back to Yanko. Yankto to Schurz again, back to Yankto. Just knocking the ball really well here, Sheffield United. It's got to be offside. How is he not offside? I want to see this again. It's not. It was that. Jimenez played him onside. Unfortunate for us. And that is Sheffield United 1. Solihull Moors 0. McGee gets it in. Mokhtar's there! Oh, I thought Mokhtar had headed it in there. Not quite. Apologies. And we have dominated this game. Even with 10 men, we definitely deserve to get something out of it. We shout a bit of encouragement at the boys now. Jimenez takes the throw. Shventovic is on this left-hand side to Davenport. Back to Shventovic. And Jacob Davenport, the vice-captain of the club, with a tremendous strike. And that pulls the Moors back level. And this is just absolutely delightful here. Little 1-2 between them. Bang! Oh, keeper, no chance. All level and still all to play for then. Doing really, really well here. We're actually going to throw a little bit of praise on the team. Wouldn't normally do that when we're drawing. But a very, very good effort from us here. And we are going to make one last change. Is it going to be Petruzzi who comes on? I think Petruzzi is actually probably the best move here. Unless we put Mokhtar out wide. In fact, we will still do that anyway. We'll bring Petruzzi on, but we'll bring Mokhtar out wide and Petruzzi up front. So we've still got Mokhtar's kind of pace and power rather than bringing on a Tete. And then see if we can't just nick it here at the end. I mean, I say nick it, we deserve to win. We do deserve to win. I don't care what anybody says. Mokhtar then plays the ball back to Gilchrist. It's a poor pass. Balde gets through. Lingard's there. Oh, Richards. Lingard again. And it's intercepted. Mokhtar then brings the ball forward. We're in a really good position here. Sventovic. Oh, Sventanovic. I don't know how to say his name. We're going to get used to it. But it's when it pops up. When you can actually look at it and read it, it's not that bad. It's when it just pops up there. But that was a tremendous game. First game of the season with 10 men for the entirety of the game pretty much. 82 minutes of 10 men versus 11. 59% possession. 13 shots on target. 15 corners. Okay, maybe the 12 fouls, not very good. 87% pass completion. I'm very pleased with that. So I am actually going to say as well to them that I'm pleased with that performance. Hamza Chowdhury he's got a lot to answer for there, really. A great moment for Jacob Davenport, obviously. Now, I would normally end the video there, but I'd just like to hop on one more day whilst you're here, because we've got somebody whose work permit might be approved tomorrow, and if he is, we'll we'll be able just to confirm one more transfer. Obviously, transfer window's still open, so there may be more business even after this one before the end of the transfer window. We will see. So, I thought that was a disgrace, to be fair, by Hamza Chowdhury. I'll never rule anything out. Justin Curley, I'm not going to talk about him. I don't even know who he is. I hope it will be enough to stay up with 40 points. I think we're more than good enough now not to go down this season. And we need to go through to Monday, which is where the decision will be made on this gentleman's, work permit. Automatic save of the game. So, yeah. What have you thought about our stuff so far then, guys? What do you think of our summer business so far? Is there any player in particular that you're excited about? Let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. It really does help with the algorithm. And do you think we've got his work permit as well. Absolutely phenomenal. Do you think we've got it about us to kind of push on this season? We won't go into there. Dragon Marriage is now a Solihull Moors player. Absolutely buzzing about this one. And you'll see why in just a second as we continue it on again. Now, I told you that we was bringing in somebody who would replace Castillo, and Castillo would actually be kind of our backup man now. And this is the gentleman who we've brought in. Another Serbian. Dragon Marriage from Red Star. Look at the pace. Look at the mentals. Look at the technicals. Sorry, I've got a really tickly throat. Bear with me a moment. Oh, that's much better. 21. And at 21 years old, he has represented his country already 30 times, scoring 4 goals. Very good crosser of the ball. Great first touch. Good passing. Good technique. Good mentals. Very, very good physicals. We are going to cause teams problems. Not only is he fast as well, he's quite powerful on that right hand side, and at 6'1", that's quite a bit of a beast for a winger. So, I'm very happy with the way that the squad's lining up. Hope you think that we've got it right this summer as well. Do let me know what you think we've done right, what we've done wrong. Do you think we're going to stay up again? Do you think we can maybe try and have an outside chance at pushing for Europe? I don't know where we're going to sit this season, but I would be very disappointed if we didn't improve on where we were last season. So that's what we're thinking at the moment. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for all your continued support. We will be back on Friday. You take care for now. Bye-bye.